going on, everybody? Welcome in to another podcast to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Huge shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. We got Jeff, we got Lorenzo, we got Michael, we got Javi, we got Mackenzie already starting off hot with the $5 donation. Absolutely appreciate you for being here. We will be diving into all super chats a little later on as well. Do me a massive favor, ladies and gentlemen, smack the like button here and subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. We are on the road to 19K. Cannot do it without you guys. Shout out to Mackenzie saying this. I'm happy to catch you live again. I've been busy and might need emergency surgery. I want to hear from all the coaches and coordinators. Absolutely. Well, I hope a speedy recovery. I hope everything goes well for you, Mackenzie. And everything goes good. Appreciate you for being here live. If you guys do not know, the Arizona Cardinals coordinators did speak earlier this morning. I believe it actually started at 9 and they just wrapped up probably about 10-15 minutes ago. We heard from Mike LaFleur a little bit. We heard from Nathaniel Hackett. We heard from Nick Rallis, former Arizona Cardinals defensive coordinator, and we also heard from the new special teams coordinator in Michael Gabriel. So really cool to see, this coaching staff now starting to take shape. Now, we do also have some other news that the Cardinals have gone after some new guys to bring into their coaching staff. I mentioned this before. The defensive side of the ball, when it comes down to the coaching staff, there hasn't been a lot of names announced, but another shout out here to Matt Zintz. He's been breaking every single one of these coaching staffs down to a T. He ends up coming out and saying this: the Cardinals are expected to retain Matt Feeney as a member of their defensive staff under new head coach Mike LaFleur. Now, we don't exactly know what he's going to be doing, but the Cardinals are going to retain him. And then Ian Rappaport reported that the Arizona Cardinals are hiring University of Texas defensive coordinator Pete Kwiatkowski. I don't know, as their new defensive line coach, sources said. Now, I find this a little fascinating here. I have not been able to update all the coaching staff as of yet, but the Cardinals are doing a lot of their hiring outside of the NFL. Now, I don't know if it's going to be one of these things where the Arizona Cardinals are struggling to fill in this coaching staff at the time that we currently are in right now. It's hard to say, but it's tough. It really is. Like the Cardinals right now, we're sitting in February the 18th. Maybe there's no other defensive line coach out there that the Cardinals can poach from another organization. I don't know. Am I concerned? I mean, I'm excited about giving these guys opportunities because sometimes that's what it takes, opportunities for a coach to shine, right? But you can't ignore the elephant in the room, right? You can't ignore the elephant in the room, and that is that the Cardinals are hiring a lot of guys outside of the football world. And I was really, really hoping that the Cardinals were going to be able to bring in some guys with experience, but we got Michael LaFleur, which got a lot of experience with the NFL, not so much play calling, but in the NFL, Nathaniel Hackett, Michael Gabriel. He's been a special teams coordinator for a few years, or a couple years, and then Nick Rallis. All his experience really came from the Arizona Cardinals. So we'll see how this coaching staff ends up shaking out. But we had a lot of good quotes to talk about here when it comes down to the Cardinals presser, or I want to call it the coordinator's presser, but like we heard Michael LaFleur speak as well. So a couple different things to note when it comes down to the Cardinals. Mike LaFleur made it very, very apparent that he got his guy. Now the exact quote from Mike LaFleur about Nathaniel Hackett was, quote, "I wanted him and nobody else." Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of fans and maybe outside people of this organization, they don't like the Nathaniel Hackett signing as an offensive coordinator. Now, to me, I sold myself, and yes, it had to take for me to sell myself to like this move. I told myself that he's not going to call plays. It's going to be the Michael LaFleur show, and he's here for the experience. Now, whether that actually comes into fruition or whether the situation that we're living in is he's a bigger play than we probably anticipate, I think it's going to be a little bit of a mix of a lot, right? Or a little bit of the two. Yes, Michael LaFleur is going to be calling the plays on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays, but at least per this presser, he's going to have a hand in this offense. Now, whether that excites you or that does not excite you, this is the circumstance that we currently are in right now. Now, another quote that I want to go ahead and bring your guys to I want to bring to your guys' attention, Jeremy Bergman. I believe he works for Around the NFL. He was also in this presser as well for the introductions of the coordinators. He ended up putting a tweet out there or a post, and he said this: Cardinals coach Michael LaFleur on the offense under Nathaniel Hackett. Quote, we're not going to be the Green Bay Packers. We're not going to be the Rams. We're not going to be the Niners. Or we're going to be us, whatever us becomes. I felt like that was a kind of a cool quote from Mike LaFleur. Now, of course, right now it's lip service, right? We take with what we can get at the end of the day. But yeah, Nathaniel Hackett seemed very personable in his presser. A lot of good things, right? A lot of lineage when it comes down to his dad and him being a coach as well. A lot of back history and having a lot of playbooks, right? Just kind of talking about the difference between now and what he experienced back then. And he's grateful, man. He's really grateful for the opportunity. Michael Gorbriel, I didn't really pay too much attention to the special teams coordinator presser. I chimed in here and there. But you also have Nick Rallis coming back, and he explained the idea of like the thought process and just the process of him going through the uncertainty of, is he going to be able to have a job or not, right? Because let's be real, nobody was knocking down the door for a hiring of Nick Rallis to be their defensive coordinator. Now, Drew Petzing was one of the very first coordinators plucked from the Cardinals' former coaching staff, and he now landed himself on over to the Lions to coach up Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown. So, of course, that's definitely going to be something that Cardinals fans are going to keep their eyes on if it's going to be able to translate on that side of the coin, right? So, yeah, it was cool. It was cool to see the coordinators speak, right? At the end of the day, but I think right now, I think most Cardinal fans we are just wanting to see results now. I think that's where we are at right now within this organization. We're ready to see results. It's been long overdue for this Cardinals organization to stop being suckish, man. Not good, right? Like, this is already the fourth straight losing season, right? The last year of Cliff, the first year of JG, the year two of JG. Although, if you want to call 8-9 a winning record, that's up to you. That's not my interpretation of a winning record, but I see that as a losing record as well. And then you have this last stinker as well, right? This last year, and that's the Arizona Cardinals going 3 wins. So the situation is, I think Cardinal fans, regardless of who they bring in coaches, they are in the mode of wait and see, right? How this is all going to shake out, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just ready to see results myself. Now, of course, we got free agency starting up here pretty soon. In less than a month away, we probably have less than 3 weeks away from free agency to start up. So I'm excited to see what the new roster is going to look like. Of course, you got the draft as well. You got the schedule coming out in May. So we have a, a lot to talk about, right? And it's going to start taking shape of what this 2026 Arizona Cardinals team is going to look like, right? Now, I want to shift my attention on over to another topic that we kind of chimed in a little bit yesterday. If you guys weren't in the night live stream, no worries. I'm pretty much going to fill you in what we basically talked about. There's a lot of Arizona Cardinal fans right now freaking out. There's a lot of Arizona Cardinal fans freaking out right now because there is a report that dropped from John Gambadoro of Arizona Sports, and he ended up coming out and basically saying the Arizona Cardinals have intrigue in backup quarterback Tyson Bagent, right? So, being the fact that we got intrigue for Tyson Bagent, there's a lot of Cardinal fans that are really, really, I guess, freaking out is the best way to describe what people are feeling right now. Now, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that, do I think that Monti Ossenfort's going into the season on the hot seat? I mean, he should. He absolutely should. I don't know any organization that wouldn't have just ripped the Band-Aid off and kind of gotten rid of everybody, right? The circumstances that we're living in right now is a little odd, but it aligns with what Michael Bidwell probably is going to do, right? So Is it shocking that we retained or Monti Ossenfort? No, because you look at who's the one calling the shots, and that's obviously Michael Bidwell. So it's not shocking in that sense. But if I was the owner, right, or if I was the guy making the decisions, you would look at all three of these last drafts and you would say to yourself, "Hey, do we really have enough here that we were better after the Cliff Kingsbury era?" Now, let me ask you guys this, right? I know we don't have a big crowd right now, but let me ask you guys this. In the state of the Arizona Cardinals roster from now heading into 2026, is this roster better than when we had it leaving the Cliff Kingsbury era? Right now, this is before the Cardinals ended up, releasing D Hop. This is before the Arizona Cardinals ended up not signing Byron, not signing Zach Allen. My honest, sincere question is this roster better on paper? I don't think it's leaps and bounds better. I really don't. I think we got young talent. We have a lot of young potential talent. That's the truth. But I don't think this roster is leaps and bounds better, which you would expect in a year three. Going into year four, you would say to yourself, oh, yes, I feel confident in this position group. I feel confident in this position group. No, I think every position group that you're looking at this roster from top to bottom, there is a big I'm not going to say defect, but a big, big hole as to where you can go via the draft. And all I can say right now is Monti Ossenfort, he better count all his lucky stars out there that he was able to retain his job. He has another breath of life, another opportunity to come out here and show out. He's got another opportunity to come out here and prove that he is qualified to be a general manager of a football organization. But I don't know. I don't think I don't think this roster is leaps and bounds better. And like I said, when you removed yourself away from the Steve Keim era, and of course, when Monti Ossenfort came in, and of course, I was one of the guys that said, "Oh, let Monty cook," because just like I'm going to be giving Mike LaFleur, or if Tyson Bagent becomes a new quarterback, or a guy coming in to battle it out with Jacoby Brissett, I'm going to be giving those guys a fair opportunity and a fair crack, just like I gave the opportunity to Mike LaFleur, or I'm going to give the opportunity to Michael Fleur, just like I gave the opportunity to Jonathan Gannon, just like I give the opportunity to Kyler Murray, right? It's one of the same. I allow the process to go through, and if it doesn't work within the 2 or 3 years, I already know my decision from there. That, hey, it's ain't going to work. But I'm not going to come out here and bag on if the Cardinals do decide to bring in Tyson Bagent, because honestly, you see some attributes that maybe it can correlate to a starting quarterback in the NFL. Now maybe not a top 10 team in the NFL. That's the truth. But the circumstances of where the Cardinals are at right now in this quote unquote retool or quote unquote rebuild, again, it's where the Cardinals put themselves. Monti Ossenfort in this Arizona Cardinals organization for years in and years out and years in and years out, and even past Monti Ossenfort or even pre-Monti Ossenfort, this is how this Cardinals organization unfortunately runs. They do not address the elephant in the room until the elephant is right there, right on your legs, and you can't move anymore. You have to address it, right? And that's what we're dealing with right now with the Kyler Murray situation. So for the people out there saying, "Oh man, this is what happens when you remove yourself off of a franchise quarterback," oh, well, I mean, you're right. In a sense, the Cardinals probably could have planned this out better. That's one thing that I've been talking about for a very long time. Yes, I agree. I hope the Cardinals were being able to plan this out better. Will we realistically probably heading into 2026 with Jacoby Brissett, potentially Tyson Bagent, or maybe even a rookie quarterback? Yeah, that's the realistic nature of where we are at right now, unfortunately. I mean, they made their decision. They're moving off of Kyler, or at least it feels like right now they're moving off of Kyler. If you're not going to be on that train and if you want to move where Kyler goes, then okay, I get it. I respect it, right? Whatever. I mean, to me, I hope nothing but the best and success for Kyler Murray if he goes to the Vikings, if he goes to the Jets, if he goes to any other organization that is willing to give us the most amount of draft capital back to the Cardinals. But this Tyson Bagent, people coming out here and dragging his name because he only had opportunities in the preseason, or people want to go back to his rookie year and said, oh, he's got, what is it, 3 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, right? Also, you got to look at the circumstances of where they're at. This was pre-Caleb Williams. This is probably when the Chicago Bears were down in the dumps, and he probably was thrown in there for a few games. So yeah, it didn't look really good, but that was also 3 years ago or 2 years ago. He's kind of developed. That's the reason why he just got an extension and he's still serving 2 more years, $5 million each year because of what he's kind of developed into. So, yes, if you're looking at his prior stats, okay, I can agree with you. 3-6 doesn't look very good. And I'm talking about 3 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Of course, that doesn't look very good. But you're judging a guy off of his rookie year in an organization that was absolutely in flux. So, if the Cardinals are going to go this route, I'm going to do the exact same thing that I give in every single person the opportunity to come in here. I'm going to give them the chance to see if they can prove it. And if they can't prove it, then we move on. It's as simple as that. Now, how realistic is the Arizona Cardinals to get Tyson Bagent? Well, I don't know. I'm seeing Bears fans out there saying that they can get a day 2 pick for Tyson Bagent. That's absolutely crazy to me. That's absolutely nuts to me. If the Cardinals go and give up a day 2 pick for Tyson Bagent, I don't know how I would feel about Monty. I mean, right now, I don't even know how I feel about Monti Ossenfort, to be real with you. I'm not the biggest fan of Monty. The only thing I'm saying right now is I'm just going to wait to see how this all shakes out, right? We got year 4 of Monty. I'm going to wait and see how this shakes out. But if you give up a day 2 pick and we're talking about a second or a third round pick for Tyson Bagent, then that just ain't it. But if we're giving up a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round, who cares? Who cares? Look at the draft picks that we've been drafting in this 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round. Usually they're not big time playmakers for us. So who cares? We're taking a swing on a guy that maybe, just maybe, has some attributes to potentially be that guy, right? So we're taking a swing. That's what this is. It's a swing. Now, is Jacoby Brissett and Tyson Bagent probably going to battle it out? Well, if the Cardinals do make the move and actually go after him and get him, then yeah. Now, is there still a slight possibility that the Cardinals run it back with Kyler? I mean, yeah. I mean, that's the reason why every time I talk about this whole Kyler Murray situation, I always leave a little bit of a grace because I don't know what this Cardinals organization is going to do. You don't know what the Cardinals organization is going to do. For every insider that think that they know what the Cardinals are going to do, I don't think they know what they're going to do. Nobody knows what the Cardinals are going to do. Just like nobody knew that Jonathan Gannon was going to get fired, right? Because everybody was like, oh, Jonathan Gannon stayed. Nah, he didn't. Jonathan Gannon did not stay. And for what it's worth, even me saying the same thing, I don't think it's financially something that Bidwell will do. Bidwell said, F it, I'm doing it. Now, he kept Monty, which is one of those unfortunate things, but here we are, right? We're going to have to kind of wait and see how this all shakes out. But for Tyson Bagent, if he becomes a new Arizona Cardinals quarterback to fight it out in preseason or training camp, then yeah, I'm going to do exactly what I did with Clayton Tune, right? I'm going to give you the opportunity. If it doesn't work, then we move on, right? But now, let's talk about this because people see this report from John Gambadoro and they're like, oh, here we go. The Cardinals are tanking. The Cardinals are tanking, right? I don't think the Cardinals are tanking. I really don't. Now, tanking is you are truly trying to come out here and lose, right? I don't think that's what the Cardinals are trying to do. Now, are they smart enough to go after and build out a roster from top to bottom in one offseason? Well, Monti Ossenfort hasn't proven that he can do that, right? It's taken 3 years for Monti Ossenfort to go right back into becoming a 3rd overall pick in the draft. So I don't know I have all the faith in the world that Monti Ossenfort is going to be able to address every single need that we have on this roster. Look at the roster right now from top to bottom. You will throw a dart and you will say, okay, we can use somebody there, right? Throw a dart wherever you want to throw it. Wherever it lands, the Cardinals most likely need somebody there, right? Defensive line, we need somebody. Offensive line, we need somebody. Quarterback, potentially can use somebody, especially if you move off of Kyler. Cornerback, we could probably use a veteran there, especially with Garrett Williams going down, the uncertainty of Max Melton. We can very well use somebody there. Safety, what happens with Jalen Thompson? Are we not re-signing him? We can use somebody there. Running back, James Conner, is he going to stay healthy, or are we going to cut him as a cap casualty? We might need somebody there. I don't trust Trey Benson. He can't stay healthy. We need somebody there. Number 3 wide receiver, we need somebody there. Guy opposite side of Mac Wilson Sr., we need somebody there. Like, it's just, you can throw a dart any which direction, and you can say to yourself, yes, that we need somebody there. Absolutely. And that's just a tribute to how this quote-unquote rebuild was assembled. Monti Ossenfort had money to spend this last and he refused to do it, right? The running back solution after James Conner and Trey Benson went down, he told us Amari DiMercado, Bam Knight, and he told us Corey Kiner, Michael Carter. That's what he told us, right? That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable at all. And it shouldn't have been accepted this last year. Is that a reason why the Arizona Cardinals lost all the games that they did? No, it's not the main reason, but it's part of the reason. The offensive line couldn't stop anybody. The run blocking was atrocious. The run game was atrocious. It forced Jacoby Brissett to throw the ball 45 times a game, right? Defense, it couldn't stop anybody. We weren't playing complementary football. Time management on the coaching side of the ball was absolutely horrendous. We were always giving up some points at the last 2 minutes going into the half. It's an accumulation of a lot of different things. Jacoby being a little reckless with the ball, right? Yeah, it's an accumulation of a lot of different things, but it's a factor. It's a factor. So, are we tanking? I don't think we're tanking. I don't think we're purposely trying to lose for an Arch Manning, for a Dante Moore, right? For a guy that's going to be potentially be in the top part of the draft next year. I don't think we are. But will we win a lot of games? Well, right now it doesn't feel like it. Right now, sitting on February the 18th, doesn't feel like we're going to win a lot of games next year. But if the Cardinals put themselves and nail these free agency pickups and nail the draft, then we might be pretty respectable. But it doesn't help that we're playing in one of the toughest divisions in the NFL. That doesn't help. But the circumstances are the circumstances. You either win or you're not good enough to be here. That's the way the NFL works. So is Monti Ossenfort in the hot seat? Hell yeah, he's on the hot seat. Hell yeah, he's on the hot seat. And he should be on the hot seat. Monti Ossenfort hasn't proven that in the 4 years, or let me just say 3 years for now. Let's see what he does in this year 4, right? But in the 3 years, he hasn't proven that he can be a general manager that can build a team out. He hasn't at all. Point blank, he has not. So he's got a lot of work to do, and I think he fully is aware of that. The big thing that's in front of him, in front of his plate, is how he's going to handle this Kyler Murray situation. If he flat out releases Kyler Murray, that will be an epic failure. Epic failure if the Arizona Cardinals flat out release Kyler. Now, the circumstances, one thing that we don't know is what's happening in the background. What is the relationship between Kyler and the Cardinals? To me, from the outside looking in, it doesn't seem like it's good. It doesn't look like it's salvageable. From the outside looking in, I don't have any inside sources, but as of right now, from the outside looking in, it doesn't look to be in a good state. Could I be wrong? Of course I could be wrong. Can the Cardinals come back and say to themselves, hey, Kyler, Michael LaFleur really wants you. What we're going to do is we're going to build up this offensive line either via the draft and or free agency. We need you back for one more year. What say you? If there's a relationship to be had, I hope these conversations were already had. The problem is that this Arizona Cardinals organization is so vague when it comes down to the topic of Kyler, and Kyler has not even said anything about the Cardinals hirings or anything. He's been MIA about this whole situation, about Michael LaFleur, about everything. So that leads me to believe that a divorce is imminent, right? But one thing that I hate for my organization to look like is a bunch of punks, is a bunch of no BALLS, no courage team. And so far, Monti Ossenfort kind of looks like that. He kind of looks like a general manager that doesn't really have a lot of gusto, a lot of oomph to his ability to get rid of a contract that, let's be real, is a big contract. But with the state of the quarterbacks right now, I would still put Kyler Murray at the top of the list of anybody's team if they want to turn this around really quickly, right? If they release Kyler, that's an epic failure. You got to get something from Kyler. And if you don't, guess what? You still have Kyler under contract. I'm not going to come out here and mess with somebody else's money. I get it. If the Cardinals don't release or trade away Kyler before the 5th day of the new year, which I believe it's like the 16th or the 17th of March, so in a month from now, they need to have some real serious decisions on what they're going to do. Because if they're not going to get anything out of him anyways, and you have him under contract, you got to make some serious decisions on what you're going to do. Now, if the Cardinals keep him, will he play? I mean, that's another story for a different day. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what the relationship looks like on the inside. Because if you release him, Malik Willis isn't coming. Or at least it doesn't feel like Malik Willis is coming. Unless Michael Bidwell does some restructuring of contracts to open up some more cap space, the dead money hit that we're going to take for Kyler Murray, even a post-June designation, it's it doesn't seem feasible that a Malik Willis is going to come here, especially with the rumors that he's going to get $20 plus million a year. Like, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So we really need to figure out and by we, I mean them, right? Obviously, if I was in this office, I would have already known. Like, I'm going to be real. I'm not even going to come out here and try to toot my own horn. But it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me right now that we're sitting on February the 18th and less than a month away and they don't have a plan. I don't care that you're not telling us the plan. That's fine. I get that. But if you don't have an actual plan on what you're going to do, that's crazy. I hope they have a plan. I hope they know what they're doing. But right now, the Cardinals' history has proven that they don't know what they're doing. So that's what really worries me about how they could either make this Kyler Murray move off something like that can work for us, or we're just put right back into the into the basement of the NFC West again. Which is it a possibility? Probably, right? Probably. But going back to Monti Ossenfort is in the hot seat. Well, I mean, look at every single draft that we've drafted so far. How many impactful players do you think the Arizona Cardinals have? Out of all the drafts, if out of what is it, 28 picks the Arizona Cardinals ended up doing? Yeah, because we had like 12 picks in 1 year, right? We had 12 picks in 1 year. Let's see here. It was a lot. It's a lot of picks. I should have counted them up before. But look, serious question. How many impactful players do the Arizona Cardinals have out of all three of these drafts? How many impactful players? 5? 5, I would say. Because if you let me just double check here. So 2023, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you had 9 draft picks in year 1. You had 12 draft picks in year 2. 21, 7 more, 28. 28 draft picks. Out of those 28 draft picks, how many of those guys, just throw a number out there, are impactful players? Well, let's do a little bit of a count, right? Paris Johnson Jr., Garrett Williams when healthy, Michael Wilson, I would throw him on there. That's just year 1. So, okay, starting off good. We got 3 guys. I mean, Dante Stills, he's a rotational guy. I wouldn't call him an impactful player, but he's a good player, right? But I'm not putting him on my list. Let's move on to the next one. Marvin Harrison Jr., Darius Robinson, Max Melton, Trey Benson, Isaiah Adams, Tip, Elijah Jones, Gadrian Taylor Demerson, Xavier Thomas, Christian Jones, Tyjon Palmer, and Jaden Davis. I mean, who? Marvin? Rabbit? I mean, maybe Max Melton if you want to be nice. I'm not going to put him on my list myself, but okay, we got 5. Next draft class, Walter Nolan, okay. Will Johnson. I don't know what Jordan Birch is right now. I don't know if Cody Simon is the future. I know we've seen some flashes here and there of Denzel Burke, but I'm probably not going to put him on this list because if Star Thomas does sign back with the Cardinals, he's probably going to be a starter over Burke. Let's be real. So that's 7 out of 28 draft picks. 7 out of 28 draft picks. That's tough, man. That's tough. And I was even being generous. I was even being generous with some of the picks that I even brought in because although I like Walter Nolan, can he stay healthy? Well, this is only 1 year. We're calling him an impactful player right now. It's only year 1. Will Johnson, it's only year 1. We're going into year 2 with Will Johnson. We don't know, right? So even adding them on there with just 1 year, I'm being generous. So Monti Ossenfort is in the hot seat. Absolutely. And he should be on the hot seat. Here are the circumstances the Cardinals are living in right now. We got Mike LaFleur that has a very, very good weaponry when it comes down to the weapons on the offensive side of the ball. Trey McBride, that should be enough to say we can win games with Trey McBride alone. Michael Wilson, if we can get that Michael Wilson that we saw in the last if we saw in the last 7-8 games of the season, then that will truly be a huge win for the Cardinals, right? You got Marvin Harrison Jr. coming back healthy, being your number 2. Get a running back. The offensive side of the ball in terms of weaponry seems to be good. You fix the offensive line, and hopefully we don't turn over the ball very much. We have some good pieces. You're retaining Nick Rallis as your defensive coordinator because of the experience. Okay, I get it. He seems grateful. Hopefully he mixes things up and is a lot more aggressive with said Budda Baker and not putting him in coverage 9 out of the 10 times of every play. We need Budda Baker to be used as Budda Baker is being used. Like, that's what we need. So hopefully Nick Rallis learns from that. And you got Nathaniel Hackett, Michael Gorbariel. These are guys with a lot of inexperience. Or, I guess, inexperience in terms of not having the success that we were hoping we were going to get. Can Michael LaFleur come in here and change it? Well, we all hope so. We hope so. Let me go and give some love here. Oh, we got my guy, Ranger. What's up, Ranger? This team has tried to pay coaches this offseason, and they have been told no. So I'm not hopeful that free agency will come here. Yeah, that's another good call out, Ranger. It's another great call out. Is another good call out. If the Cardinals are struggling to fill in coaches, we're talking coaches here, right? The Cardinals are struggling to find coaches to coach here. How are we going to be seen as in free agency, right? I can make videos for days and say, oh, I would love to get Tyler Linderbaum here because I felt like I came on with something pretty darn clever. But does Tyler Linderbaum want to come here with no quarterback certainty, with just all the influx of just the way this organization is ran? I don't know if anybody's going to want to come here. So it's a great call out, Ranger, because we don't truly know. Those big time guys, like, we should be thankful that Josh Sweat decided to come here and follow Rallis and follow JG. Does he feel like he made a mistake? I don't know. I hope not. I hope he doesn't have any buyer's remorse, or I hope he doesn't have any regret that he might have signed here, for another few years to be with the Cardinals. But it's a great call out. Not just coaches, because if you guys do not know, if you guys weren't here in the earlier part of the show, the Cardinals did they retained Matt Feeney. He's a member of the defensive staff. I don't know where he's going to be playing, but again, shout out to Matt Zintz of CBS. And Ian Rappaport reported over an hour ago that the Cardinals are bringing in a coach from college, University of Texas, as their new defensive line coach. We can't even find anybody to be a defensive freaking line back or a defensive line coach in the NFL. If this doesn't tell you anything, we should be worried. Yeah, we should. And I mentioned this on the last video that I published yesterday. And shout out to the people that watched that video. It was just a fun video, right? It's called Fixing the Offense, right? Just different clever ways to do some different things. I don't know what the Cardinals are going to do. You don't, but it's fun to talk about it, right? Especially since we're in the offseason. But I lost my train of thought. Yeah, going back to free agency. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know how this is going to shake out. I really don't. Oh, yes. That's what I was talking about. Coaching staff. Yeah, we can't obviously find anybody within the NFL to be the defensive coach for us. So we have a lot of college guys that are filling in the roles. And if you guys do not know, this is the look of it. It's not updated yet. But this is the list of coaches right now. And you have a lot of college coaches and inexperience. Justin Fry, there's some people that are saying he probably shouldn't have come back, but he came from college last year, right? Matt Schaub had no quarterback coaching experience under his belt, but Cardinals are going to give him an opportunity. Cool, I like it. Matt Merritt, college. Chris Cook's coming back. Jake Moreland, I don't really know where he's coming from. Zach Etheridge, college. Now our new defensive line coach, college. So, I don't know. I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried. Ranger in the chat doubling down with another super chat says, if you look at the coaches, a lot of them are from college. Yeah, no, 100%. All we can do right now is hope. That's all we can do. All we can do right now is hope and pray that this works out. That Mike LaFleur is going to win us a multitude of games. That's the only thing that we can hope for right now. I hope that something rubbed off of Sean McVay. Something. And that he becomes that head coach for us, like your Bruce Arians, like your Ken Wisenhunt, right? That's what I'm hoping for. It's just, we got a lot of college coaches. That's not going to tell the story of 2026, but it's going to be a part of the story. It's going to be a part of the story. My guy CVP in the chat says, why is Tyson Bagent a topic? How far gone is this organization? Well, the reason why Tyson Bagent is a topic and why we're talking about it is because the reports that came out yesterday that the Cardinals are intrigued with Tyson Bagent. That's the reason why. Like, we wouldn't be talking about Tyson Bagent if this report didn't come out, right? But from John Gambadoro of Arizona Sports, he heard that the Cardinals are intrigued with said Tyson Bagent, right? That's the reason why we're talking about him. Or if you're asking, why is this even a topic? Well, because the Cardinals quarterback state is in flux. That's why. That's also why. The circumstances right now of the Arizona Cardinals is a lot of unknown. A lot of unknown. We got another super chat coming our way, this time from RC3. Appreciate you, man. Shout out here to Mackenzie earlier, Ranger earlier as well. Now RC3 with another super chat. Appreciate you. Thank you so very much for the super chat.
Another one.
All right. RC3 says this. Sad fact. Bidwell family owned the franchise since 1932 and only one Super Bowl appearance. It's the Bidwells, then Monti Ossenfort because the oven... it's the Bidwells, then Monty because the oven's been off. That you're probably trying to address the, is he in the hot seat or is he not, right? Yeah, man, it's hard to ignore the fact of the common denominator of what's been the guy calling the shots for this entire time, right? It's hard to ignore that. It really is. And of course, Michael Bidwell's at the top right now. So unless this somehow completely works out and Michael LaFleur is the next Messiah, we'll see. We'll see. But again, going back to the question of why is Tyson Bagent even a conversation is because the state of the Cardinals right now. That's the reason why. The state of flux we are in right now. That's why. RC3 says Monty is not cooking no more. No. Monty's got cooked, right? Monti Ossenfort got cooked. He ain't cooking anymore. He's cooked. I hope he can prove me right. I'm sorry. I hope he could prove me wrong because right now there's a lot of doubt amongst the Monti Ossenfort. Can he be the guy? Can he not be the guy? It's an unfortunate place to be. Like I said, we just listed off the 28 draft picks the Cardinals had in 3 years under Monti Ossenfort. And I asked you guys earlier, is this roster better than before Monty got here? Is this roster better than before Monty got here? Before he got his hands on it? I don't think it is, man. I don't think it's leaps and bounds better. They're going to sell you that we got a lot of young pieces. We do. We got a lot of young pieces that there's potential and promise. But that potential and promise, like, we just don't know what's going to come out. Like, so it's just hope. It's potential right now. That's all it is. So, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Ranger with another one. Sheesh.
Another one.
Appreciate you. Ranger in the chat says this. How bad this team is right now. They try through money. They try to throw money at these defensive coordinators, coaches, and they all said no. And that's how Rallis is back. Potentially, yeah, potentially. Um, Charlie Bullen. Charlie Bullen was in play. Wink Martindale was in play. Aubrey Pleasant was in play. Dino Vassell was in play. And there was a few reports from a couple of those coaches that they decided to sign a bigger deal with their team and stay with them. And that's not even as a DC. It's just as a position coach. So that tells you, that should tell you something. That should tell you something there. But yeah, man, it's right now, all our hopes and prayers are in the hands of Mike LaFleur to turn this around. Is it unfair to ask for a winning season? I mean, it's up to you and how you feel about it. I mean, let's be real. I mean, I don't know. Like, we're starving for a winning season here in the desert. Starving for a winning season here in the desert. Schedule doesn't look so well, not the schedule. The opponents look pretty tough. You play in the NFC West, first year coach. A lot of things are stacking up against us. The uncertainty with Kyler, a lot of things are stacking up against us. RC3 in the chat says he's preheating. Yeah, probably. 5 in the chat says, stop crying. Let's just hope this new coaching can bring the best out of all these players. Fingers crossed. I mean, it's not that we're crying. It's we're having a discussion. I wouldn't say we're crying. I think we're having a discussion about what the truth nature of the beast is here, right? And I don't think this is crying. I think just we're having a discussion on the state of the Cardinals. If the Cardinals come out and prove us all wrong, and we are a winning team again. Now, winning team can be different for a lot of people, right? Year 2 of Jonathan Gannon wasn't a winning team to me, but 8 wins is pretty solid in the NFL. Okay, I'll take that. At least hindsight now, thinking from the outside looking in. But yeah, I mean, it's just a discussion. It's a discussion of where we are at right now. Truth is that a lot of these defensive coordinators probably don't want to coach for the Cardinals. And Mike LaFleur, if he was any other coach that was coveted around the NFL, he would not accept what the Cardinals did to him. We should be thankful that the Cardinals were able to talk Mike LaFleur to come in here and say, hey, we spent 2 days with you, but give us another chance. We're going to fly to Seattle in a little bit. I'm just glad he said, okay. That's the only thing I could say right now that kind of went our way. Because Kubiak was obviously in their sights. Clint Kubiak was in their sights. And everybody but the Cardinals organization thought that was possible. Sorry, nobody but the Cardinals organization thought that was possible to land Clint Kubiak. It was a waste of time. It was a waste of time. Russell in the chat says LaFleur was humble about it too. Yeah, man. He was still coming out here and saying, man, I'm just grateful, right? I came here during the playoffs and I said I'm gonna coach this team. Well, here we are, man. Here we are. Coach is out of this hell. Coach is out of the hell that we're in right now. Figure out what we're gonna do at quarterback. Don't lay down and show your belly. Please don't do that. Stick to your guns. Prove that you can negotiate and put the best winning team out on 2026. That's what I'm looking for more than anything. That's what I'm looking for more than anything. Ranger with another one. Sheesh. Good Lord.
Another one.
Ranger over here just firing them in there. Sheesh. That's the 4th one from Ranger. Appreciate you, man. He says this. For me, the best way to go now is to get a vet QB and build out the offense. This team with LaFleur this season needs to be an offensive mind. Yeah, I mean, I guess the question is, who's that veteran, right? Who's the veteran? Because right now, it feels like Jacoby Brissett's going to be the guy. That's what it feels like right now, sitting on January the 18th. January, good God. February the 18th. That's what it looks like right now. That he's going to be the guy. Jacoby Brissett's going to be the veteran that the Cardinals are going to be running with. At least it feels like right now. Unless they do decide to sign Malik Willis, then of course things start to change. If the Cardinals do indeed go after Ty Simpson and try to develop him behind a said Jacoby Brissett, I mean, that's also an option as well. Or maybe a Nussmeier in the later parts of the rounds. Because you got Jacoby Brissett here. What other veteran would you guys accept? Kirk? Kirk Cousins? Aaron Rodgers seems like he might go back with the Steelers. We'll see. Who else is out there? Wilson, Russell Wilson, Mariota. I mean, yeah, it's brutal, man. It's brutal out here for Cardinal fans, man. It's brutal, especially if they move off of Kyler. Alex in the chat says, "I'm down to go Carson back in the draft." I'm cool with going. I'm cool with going a quarterback in the draft as well. Doesn't have to be the second round, especially if Ty Simpson gets plucked away from them. But if they want Ty Simpson, they need to be aggressive. I'm just gonna put that way. If they want Ty Simpson, they got to be aggressive with them. And I'm not saying the third overall pick, but you got to be aggressive if you want to get Ty Simpson. You have to be either going back into the first round somewhere, but you got to be aggressive if you want Ty. He's the second best quarterback coming out of this year's draft. Is that saying a lot? Probably not. But he's the best second quarterback in this year's draft. If you don't get him, then you're dealt with the Nussmeier, the Klubnik, the Aller, the Becks of the world. And we don't know what they're going to be. Ooh. 5 in the chat says, if K1 goes to the Jets, he'll play us at home. Woo! Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine that. And I'll do one even better for you. Aren't we playing? Oh, I thought we were playing the Vikings this year. Oh, I guess we're not playing the Vikings. I thought we were playing the Vikings this year. I guess not. Yeah, we're not playing the Vikings. Okay. But yeah, if he goes to the Jets, that's going to be so trippy to see. Oh, that would be so trippy to see. Dang. That's crazy. That's crazy. L in the chat says, we need to start holding this BS organization account. That's what I've been trying to do for the longest time, man. That's what I've been trying to do for the longest time. The problem is that there's not enough of a portion of this fan base that's willing to do that. If you go to a game and just stare at the people that are watching the game, I'm not going to say most of them, I'm not going to say a lot of them, but you can point out a good amount of those people that are at the game that they just want to be entertained for 3 hours. There's not enough of diehards of this fan base. I could be wrong. Or at least not enough diehards that are willing to do something about it. Like holding accountable, right? It's just what I've noticed by doing this as long as I have been doing it. When people don't like the things that the Cardinals are doing, it's easier for people just to turn them off and shut them off. It's just, we're done. We're not going to pay attention. It's easier for people to do that. But I agree, man. I've been trying to do that for the longest time with this podcast, with this channel, trying to hold them. But with me doing that, it makes people say, oh, he doesn't even a Cardinal fan. All he does is talk negative about him. Well, what's there to talk positive about an organization that's potentially going on their fifth straight losing season if things continue to stay the same? Because right now we're on a 4-year streak of losing football. What's there to be positive about? Go to a game. Look around. Not most people, but you will see it. People just want to be entertained for 3 hours. There's not enough diehards. There's not enough people that want change. So that's why Michael Bidwell can do whatever the hell he wants. He's going to get paid by the people that live up in Scottsdale, that want to get season tickets because it's a cool thing to have. Oh, I'm able to afford it, right? I can buy the club seats because I can do it. That's all it is, man. It's money. It's money at the end of the day. Not enough diehards. And even me going into the training camps, all I see is a lot of younger kids that are looking to get signs, like things signed, right? I would say 15% of the people go to training camp, not the red, white, and practice, because that there's a lot of people that go there, but the training camps on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and whatever, right? They're People are just there to eat, spend an hour and two, watch practice. That's like they're not really watching. They're just like, oh, cool, look at that. Look at the balls in the air. Look at that. Oh, I, that's what it is, man. Accountability is something that I've been trying to get this organization to do. And the thing is that me doing this, it doesn't accomplish anything if nobody else is doing anything. It's the circumstances that we're in, unfortunately. Brandon in the chat says Sunday family picnic. Yeah. Yeah. RC3 in the chat says our schedule is not bad. Remember, we beat the Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, and also the Raiders are not good. Broncos overrated, and the Chargers have an identity crisis. Well, let's see what the schedule looks like, right? All we know right now is our opponents. That's all we know. At home, we got the Eagles, Commanders, Broncos, Raiders, Lions, and Jets, Rams, 49ers, and Seahawks. On the road, we have the Cowboys, Giants, Chiefs, Chargers, Saints, Rams, 49ers, and Seahawks. I just hope that hopefully the Chiefs are going to be in the first part of our schedule if Patrick Mahomes is not ready to go. Fingers crossed, that's all I'm hoping for. But yeah, man, it's the circumstance that we're in right now. It sucks, but it can get turned around. It can. Whether you believe it or not, it can. Let's just see. Okay, here's more news. Matt Zins again. Sheesh. Matt Zins from CBS Sports says the Cardinals are expected to hire Tiffin University head coach Brett Eakins as a staff member of their staff. Another one. That's another college coach. Brett Eakins as a member of their staff. Have no idea. Don't even ask me who the heck Brett Eakins is. I don't know, but another college coach. Another shout out here to Matt Zins. College coach, college coach, college coach, college coach. Let's see. All we can hope is a hope and a prayer, man. That's the only thing we can do right now is hope and a prayer that this works out for the Cardinals. That's it. Oh, wow. Breaking news. It seems like the Seattle Seahawks are putting up the organization for sale. Wow. The Seattle Seahawks just won the Super Bowl, and they're putting it up for sale. Wow. Adam Schefter just reporting, or he just retweeted the Seattle Seahawks post. Dang. That's crazy. Well, I wouldn't say breaking news because we knew that they were going to do it, or at least we heard the rumbles. But the Seattle Seahawks, they just put something out, and it's called Estate of Paul G. Allen begins sale process for the Seattle Seahawks. So the Seattle Seahawks might be under new ownership. Hell, why can't we be under new ownership? Damn, like what about us? Can we be under new ownership? Damn, insane. Oh, Mars says Jeff Bezos is going to buy that. RC3 says, wow, yep. Seahawks, they just won a Super Bowl and they're going to be put up for sale. And we're over here still rolling with the bid walls for what? 100 plus years? Yikes. Let's cue it, man. Let's cue it for the one time.
Emotional damage.
Yikes. It was owned by Paul Allen, but wasn't yes, he did die, you're right. But I thought his family member took over. I mean, I don't really know Seahawks like that, so you probably know a lot more than I did, but I could have sworn his daughter stepped in. Jody, his sister. I'm sorry, not his daughter, his sister. Jody Allen. So I think maybe she's just not a football person. She's just like deuces, probably. Okay. So forgive me. I don't really follow Seahawks news like that, but you're right. Paul Allen did die, but his sister took over. I guess she's going to come out here and say, no, we're good anyways. Well, oh, I see you, Mars. I'm going to get to your chat here real quick. Let me get Ranger real quick with a $5 donation. He says this, tomorrow is groundbreaking ceremony for the new facility. All right. Well, hopefully we hear from somebody. Said Michael Bidwell. I doubt we do. I think we heard that we're not going to hear from him, but I think Mike LaFleur is going to be on the Newsmakers Week. This is just a new scratch that I just figured out this morning. If you guys are a avid listener of Arizona sports, they have their Newsmaker Week this week, and everybody was like, "Oh man, no Arizona Cardinals representative." That's now been changed. I think this Friday, Michael LaFleur is speaking on Friday morning. So just FYI, I think it's a little before 10, or no, I'm sorry, it's a little before 8. So it's going to be a really early morning interview with Michael LaFleur. So make sure you check that out on Arizona Sports if you're interested. But yeah, he's the only representative. When we used to have Monti and Bidwell on there, they said, no, we're not going to do that. So appreciate the reminder. Mars in the chat says Paul Allen put it in his will that he wanted the family to sell it. Okay, if that's the truth, then okay. Seahawks are owned by a family trust. Gotcha. Okay. That I did not know. Good to know. Appreciate you guys for schooling me, because I did not know that. Still, why can't we be sold? Why can't we? That I'm tired of the Bidwells. I'm tired of them. Yeah, here we are. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to hit the hour mark. Let me just give another real quick shout out here to the sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube, the guys that are keeping the lights on, and that is going to be none other than Sleeper. Proud sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Make sure you check out Sleeper. Right now, I get it. Football season is not around, but you can still take advantage of my promo code AZSF. They do give you a free $20 on player picks. You can go on there, use it for any sport that's currently going on right now. If you're a basketball fiend, and if you feel like you can go ahead and go on there and make some money, right now you can go ahead and get a $100 deposit match still, up to $100 by using my promo code. And on top of that, like I said, free $20 using my promo code AZSF. So if you're a gambling woman or man, make sure you check out Sleeper, proud sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan throughout the entirety of the 2025 season. All right, let's read a couple more comments here, and we'll be closing up shop. Russell in the chat says, from what I understood, it was his will. After 7 years, they needed to sell. Gotcha. Yeah, it seemed like I was schooled here in the chat. I think people were telling me that it was a part of the will. I didn't know that. So appreciate you guys for letting me know. Ranger in the chat says they owned the Trailblazers, Seahawks, and they sold both. Italian Knight. He says it's in Paul Allen's will to sell the Seahawks and Portland Trailblazers. Man, I'm just getting schooled left and right. Well, yeah, I did not know that. Appreciate you guys for letting me know. But yes, it's official. I'm seeing it here all over X/Twitter that they are officially putting themselves up for sale. And let's see exactly what happens here with the Seattle Seahawks under said new ownership. All right, guys, with that being said, we're going to be closing up shop. I want to thank every single person out here that's been rocking with me. Everybody that smacked the like button here on this live stream. Shout out here to Italian Knight. Shout out here to Ranger, RC3, Mackenzie to start off the super chat train. Thank you everybody for tuning in. You guys are all absolutely amazing. Smack the like button on your way out and subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. We're on the road to 19K. I think last time I looked, we're like less than 200 subscribers away. I know I've been talking about it for a bit, but we're so close to hitting it. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe it up, ladies and gentlemen. Less than 200 subscribers away from hitting the 19K subscriber mark. All right, let's rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys in the next video. As always, have a great rest of your day. And go Cardinals. There you go. Peace.